He's ranked number 25 in the world, and that's an improvement of 12 places since the start of 2023. And if you put together a list based on ranking points earned so far since the start of the year, he's number 15 on that. So all of that really underlines how quickly he's progressing.
Yeah, and the year-to-date rankings are what applies to the Mosconi Cup. But I think at times, you know, when you, of course, he believes he can make that team, and I think all of us believe he will make that team one day. He's just too good of a talent at such a young age. But I think he's just concerned with playing well, and that's the ticket.
Certainly played well in this opening rack. A break and run. You can't start better than that. He leads the former champion Jayson 1-0.
Foul shot.
And with ball in hand from here, you fancy 1-1 is coming up.
Start the clock, please.
And of course, that scratch is going to be labeled as a mistake, but from a long ways away, he had to put some speed on it and take a little chance with the cue ball, and it just wasn't to be in rack 2 for Aleksa.
Yeah, and once Pecelj had scratched, that looked fairly inevitable given the way they were sitting. So it does indeed go 1-1 in the very early stages of this US Open quarter-final.
And he needs to put some speed because he may not get a rail if he hits it light. Oh, nice hit. Look how deep that side pocket is. Looks like half the ball is past the rail there, Michael, right?
And he's walking away very gently.
Wow, is it still moving like the golf ball? That does happen sometimes, believe it or not. He may have corner hooked him here.
Extension code.
Tell you, this is where the slick table may fool him. Like if he puts top left English, which is correct, it may not bite as much as he thinks, and he may just barely go by the 9 or even into the 9. Really sweet. Caught it a little thick to the hole, so that helped out the cue ball.
He's been this far in an event like this before.
Bank, but no position on the 3. So he should come off the right side, trying to use the 7 maybe to come down table and get the snooker. And he's underhit this a bit. And usually, you know, he's trying to control it, maybe the new table, but any signs of anything, the better players, it's usually the underhit that's the issue when the nerves are high. This is what Eagle Eye does the best. Just knock balls in from distance.
Extension code.
Looks like he's got a gap 2 rails between the 7-9 to gain position.
It's the quarterfinals of the US Open, the most historic event in pool, going all the way back to 1976. Jayson, the only remaining British player, the only man in the last 8 who's won this US Open before. And he needs this 9-ball to level with Aleksa Pecelj of Serbia at 2 apiece. That year, so when he got his chance to win this US Open the following year, he knew how to get the job done. He was up against a very young Eklund Kachi in the final, raced away into an 8-0 lead, Never looked like being seriously threatened after that. 1-13-4.
It looks like this ball fell a little straight, so he's just got to pay attention.
He's looking so good here, isn't he? And this is going to be back-to-back break and runs. And all in all, he's now won 3 in a row. Neither player had been more than one ahead in the contest. Jayson Shaw is now. It's 4-2.
He's really worked on it. And remember, the tactical side is what got Jayson back to the table on a missed safety. Oh, wow, really nice kill on the cue ball there. And he could go aggressive at that safety, knowing the 4-5 was a little tied up. That's why maybe a little experience or lack of from Aleksa realizing that situation. Still, though, hard to argue because the execution was so good from Jayson. I mean, that's a pretty bare ball on the right side of the table, the green 6. Touche, Mr. Shaw, and a little angle on the 3 to break out the 4-5.
Oh, that's going to make you feel good. He's not accustomed to being out there. I mentioned that UK Open quarter-final, but that wasn't on the main table. So this is a huge day in the life of Aleksa Pecelj. Went for the bank, didn't get close to it. It's only 4-2, but this has the feel of a rack where it's more like 8-all or even hill-hill. And it's a rack that Jayson Shaw is now extremely well placed to claim.
Play a little rail first here as he draw the cue ball.
Lengthy rack then. Pecelj went for the bank. Length of the table, missed it. Shaw made the bank in the side and has gone on from there to clinch his 4th rack in a row. He's halfway to victory and looking very hungry for more of the same throughout 23, including a run to the last 16 of the World Championship.
That ball's got to go. He's not to give up a shot. I'll tell you, he's down 5-2, but he has really escaped a lot of safeties in the last few games. He needs to take advantage of some of those little rolls. Seen a little frustration from Jayson there, but not much. And you wonder if the score gets close again, though, right? What a shot. But maybe more frustration may set in.
Looks like 5 on the spin then. Well, the 8 wriggled a little, but was never likely to stay above ground. So 3 balls down on the break. Still had a lot of work to do after that. And it's job done once again. Jayson Shaw is looking very good all around here. Caught him well, playing excellent safety. And he now leads 6-2.
He's really been getting paid off with the kicks and the jumps so far. Just hasn't taken advantage of it with a few openings. that technical side of things, it's amazing how touchy it is from week to week. That's why it takes such a big team to get everything accomplished. I think it's open.
Yeah, and if Pecelj doesn't start making something happen in his favour soon, this quarter-final could really slip away from him. So big moments, these.
Yeah, not the easiest of position. He's got to worry about grazing this 7 and having a bad luck with the cue ball. Already got by it. Now, I think there is a kiss shot on the 9 involving the pink 4. Oh, he's drawing it.
This to end a run of 5 losing racks in a row. And he's still a live contender in this quarter-final. He's back to 6-3 behind against Jayson Shaw.
Feel real well. You can see him elevate the back end of the cue, have a little left spin.
Foul here.
Fouled the pink.
Ball in hand. Start the shot clock, please.
Didn't expect that at all, and I said it wouldn't get you ball in hand, but looky here. Yeah, he just shaved the pink. Not far away. Maybe a safety because of all those reasons. Well, I'll tell you what, Eagle Eye's got a shot at the 9 here off of any of his left side of the 2. He's going to send the cue ball into the 9, and I'm sure that's what he's going to play. Players get a feel for these types of shots, Michael, and they make them way more often than you would expect. And the good thing is it kind of sets up to bank the 2 around as well.
Extension.
Extension code.
Maybe a little right English here to throw the 9. He was trying to send the cue ball at the 9, I believe it, but so a pocket open. Does go on the side.
You know, when Aleksa Pecelj was so heartbroken by that defeat to Joshua Filler at this stage of the UK Open last year, Jayson Shaw was the man on the spot to comfort him and said, come on, let's forget about it and we'll go for a night out in London. And he brought him out in the UK's capital city. Sanjin Pelovanovic, who's great friends with Aleksa, went along as well. And just for a while, he was able to put the huge disappointment behind him. What a gesture by Shaw.
Please.
Yeah, Jayson, a lot of compassion for his colleagues, and that's another thing that I think today's era, they feel more like colleagues, even though they have to beat each other for their living.
Well, the way things are now with so many big events and all the traveling around the world together.
You know, they're special talents, but they feel a lot more blue collar at times, and just a fun group. Never going to have a bad time going out and, you know, mixing it up a little bit. And did it look like anything like a 7-6 lead for Pecelj just, what, 30 or 40 minutes ago? You would say no, but here it is.
Absolutely. How do you respond to losing 5 racks in succession? Well, pretty good way of doing it is to win the next 5 for yourself. And by doing just that, quite remarkably, Aleksa Pecelj is back into the lead in this quarter-final. He only needs 3 more to make it to the last day. And now this becomes the biggest shot of the match so far. pressure of the shot clock get to him there? Because he's used his extension already. He knew time was running out, and he often seems to leave himself very short on time.
Yeah, and it just looked like a little different pre-strokes, like he was still trying to get a feel for the shot when he was down, and then the beeps went off, knowing there's only 5 seconds left. But if you have to put speed, even the TV table with the new felt, you can tell he didn't miss that by much.
And there's that focused look from earlier in the match. Back again for Jayson Shaw. How he needed to win this rack. And he has 7-all. As they both aim for a place in the last 4 of Pool's most historic championship.
Impact the break's going to have on this match from here on out. Maybe a golden break, maybe an awful kiss on the cue ball, maybe a dry one.
How about a scratch?
Yeah, that's that kiss on the cue ball I was talking about. Like Jayson said in the previous match, the cue ball comes across into the 9. It got him the win
Start the clock,
in
please.
Skyler's match, but now it costs him the cue ball at 7 apiece.
Very timely, only a few minutes ago. JJ, you were talking about what impact the break might have and the climactic stages of this wonderful last 8 encounter. Well, here
please.
we've seen it in action. Scratch from Jayson Shaw on the break. And this is what it's all led to.
Yeah, I think Aleksa assumed the 9 in the side was easier, but now has to take it in the corner.
And with that, he goes 1 clear again. And now the finish line, the semi-finals starting to come into view. It's 8-7.
Sometimes things happen, but more often than not, just like other sports, when they go to the replay, they got it right way more often than they ever get it wrong. Talk about getting it right at the right time. Young man from Serbia. Really shining here to try and get on the hill. Does he go the second rail with the cue ball or just 1 rail down?
And this is going to be 7 of the last 8 racks. One more, and he'll be in the semi-finals of a Matchroom event for the very first time. Aleksa Pecelj leads 9-7.
Boy, big shot here. Be aggressive to get him behind the 3, bringing the 2 down the middle of the table towards the 7. Oh, he hit it well. Hit it really well. And I tell you, this is going to be a difficult hit. I think he's just got to go 1 rail between the 6 and the 4. Probably be with some speed. Now the other option, and I doubt he goes that direction, is he could put the 3 tied up on the 9 and just concede the ball in hand and see what the youngster wants to do from there. I kind of wouldn't doubt he kicks this right in the hole.
Foul shot.
Well, it was that classic
Ball in
last
hand.
stand situation. If the shot goes wrong, that could be the end of his campaign. And what an opportunity now for
Start
this
the clock, please.
23-year-old from Serbia.
Yeah, not easy, though, for a couple reasons. He can't get real straight on the 3 because of the 9. He can get decently straight. But when he draws back from the 3 to the 4, he's going to have an angle just because there's no other way to play it. So he's going to have to avoid the 7 ball when he shoots the 4. He's kind of sizing that up now. You can get past that. The next hurdle, you can see the 8 on one side of the table, the 9 on the other. Key here is don't come too far out in the middle. Oh, he's going to get pretty thin here. Now can he avoid the 7 at all, Michael? This is the real issue. Problem is, if you try to avoid the 7, that means you have to put speed on this, and the cue ball could get away from you in a long distance on the 5. I think he's going to use the 7. Boy, how sweet a stroke was that. Remember a 6-ball to the upper corner that he was kind of on the same angle. The only difference, he had to put a lot of power into that one. This one he can hit fairly light coming across with the cue ball.
We spoke earlier about the heartbreak he experienced against Joshua Filler, the only previous time he's been to the quarterfinals of an event like this. It was tears in London. In a few moments, it may be cheers in Atlantic City.
Oh, and he's hit this perfectly. Got plenty of angle. That way you can hit it that nice medium speed. Opens up the pocket a little bit for the 8. You can get easily across for the 9.
Extension, please.
There just had to be one more brief moment of anxiety before the end of this quarterfinal, didn't there? So how on earth do you turn it round from 6-2 down in a big match against one of the very best players in the world? And if you want to know the answer to that, ask Aleksa, because Pecelj has come storming back, winning 8 of the last 9 racks, and has beaten Jayson 10-7. The last remaining former US Open winner is out.
In the previous round, that is no mean feat.
Looking good for a break and run here in the first rack of this match.
This is what you will be seeing over the next couple of hours. Cue ball excellence, control, very smooth cueist.
So he runs the rack to open this match. A junior world champion from a decade ago. And now here on the senior level, the big stage at the US Open, and the perfect start for the 28-year-old. deliberated over it for a while, and it just stays up. He knew how difficult the challenge was.
Looking good.
And this to have the lead of Chung here in this quarterfinal match. Max Lechner is on the board. Lechner has been forced to play a lot of those shots here in these first 4 racks.
I think he's going to try and swerve around the 9-ball, hit the rail and pocket the 2.
Extension, please.
He'll go close to this. It's not a majorly difficult shot. It's all about judging the amount of swerve you get on this cue ball.
Please take the extension available.
Hit that one sweet. Really did. Got through the cue ball lovely. Just to Mr. 9-ball. He's looking in good form so far.
The game looks sharp, on point. Hitting all of his marks and back out to a 2-rack lead here in this quarterfinal match.
So like a stun draw, and he'll come back below the red 3-ball. He was straight. That was even easier. Nicely played. The other match between Victor Selinsky and Lucius Yap is now tied at 3 racks each. One more good shot here, and he should be up by 4. Tiny bit short. If he can dig into this ball, draw it off the side, play for the 9-ball in the same pocket, that's what he'll do. That'll work out.
For the 3rd time, he's had a break and run and uses this one to establish a 4-rack lead. Chung.
If you pot it, you can't fail to be on the 7. 8 and the 9 are simple, so this is as good as potting the 9-ball, really. That's what he'll be thinking. This is the rack shot. Oh. What a mistake from Chung. Is this the moment Lechner has been waiting for? Just catching the near jaw. This is a tough pot when you've been sat in your chair, but these are the moments that can swing matches. Oh, what a shot. He has cued that tremendous. Right in the heart of the pocket, cueing off the rail.
Now presented his best opportunity, really, of the match. That miss from Chung. It's going to lead to Lechner inching closer. Lechner with a convincing win earlier today over Miguel Silva, 10-3. Now having to come from 4 racks down against Chung in the quarterfinals.
Looks like he's overrun it a little bit. Yeah, he has. He couldn't get there. Never fancied it. I think he's left this.
It's been interesting talking to some of the players about the shot clock this week, and they say that for some it's so unsettling that while you're sitting in your chair, you have to be anticipating what you might do depending on the variety of results from the shot your opponent hasn't even yet hit. Kind of makes you think about the game in a different way, think ahead a little bit more.
Doesn't need to play it off the 9.
For the first time, Max Lechner has won back-to-back racks, and he is now back to within 2.
Don't always get away with it. And he hasn't this time. Lechner was on a small fight back there. Lechner had a chance in this rack. He missed a 4-ball.
Chung has doubled up the score of Max Lechner, last year's runner-up, now trailing 6-3 here.
slightly overrun the cue ball. Yeah, he's going forward, possibly off 2 rails. Cue ball's going to be travelling somewhat. Just seems to be becoming the stronger player here for me out of these two.
His first protracted run of success. Off the break, he runs the rack.
That's what he played. Didn't so much play the 3 there, but it was all about the cue ball. Well, Max is in big trouble here. That's what he's faced with. Coming off the top rail, he's missed it.
Foul.
He has missed it.
That feels like such a big
Start shot clock,
momentum
please.
rack.
All about the pace, this. Oh. He has just started to miss a few silly balls from nowhere. He looked so strong at the beginning.
Got that one well up the rail.
What's Max looking at here? Thin. Trying to get it back in behind the 9 with the looks of it. Oh, nice. Nice hands, nice touch. It's incredible to think we're at 6-5 with the chances coping Chung has had. He has made some real unforced errors. Needs a bit of luck here. Either side contact, things could happen in favour. He's hit the rail. He's been fortunate there. He's been very fortunate there.
He got just enough of that aim. It's been cagey here with these last few shots. Lechner might finally have that opportunity to come all the way back here.
Big moment coming up. Tough 8 ball. It's in the middle of the pocket. He is up for this.
Lechner rises to the occasion.
Extension, please.
This is just good cue ball control. This is all that is required. He's going to swing the cue ball around 2 rails. center of the table again. Nothing for short. Make sure you come round just like this. That's actually ideal. Couldn't put that better with your hand. Just plays a little soft stun shot across the face of the 9-ball.
He's had a few misses, but the one thing that's been just completely on point is his cue ball control here this evening.
Yeah, and the grind, you know, at the end of the day, he's missed a few shots. So what? Keep going. That's the art of being a professional pool player. Keep fighting till the very end.
Attention, please.
Crucial he gets the right angle on the brown 7. That will determine if he plays the breakout on the bad 2 balls. Okay, here we go. If he hits the 9-ball, cue ball could fly up top of the table. 9-ball could bounce off the side rail, come back in front of the 8, and you could be hooked. So probably wants to go into the 8. Oh, he could get into the back. That's ideal. That is ideal.
One of his best shots of the match.
Really grabbed into the cue ball. Well, from 6-6, he's had the opportunities, and fair play, he's took them. This 9-ball to be the first player on the hill. This is a chance. Not only is it a chance to get through to tomorrow's semi-final in the biggest pool tournament of the calendar year, it's a chance to get one back, get your own back. Because Lechner was the man who knocked Chung out of last year's semi-final. What a shot he's played there. Draws the cue ball back, couldn't put it better with his hand.
Those losses stick with you too, don't they?
Yeah, they really do. They're hard to forget. On the other table, Yap versus Zielinski, that's tied at 8-8. That's going to be a tight finish. Well, it is a tight finish. It's now a race to 2. Pace needs to keep going. Needs to keep going. Can he reach this?
He's already used his extension.
One more good shot required. If he gets on this 8-ball, this match is over.
So resilient. Led 5-1, up by 4 racks at one point. Lechner came back to tie at 6-all. But since then, Chung with the reset, and he's been untouchable since that point.
What a strong performance this has been. He looked under the gun. He stuck in there. This to make it through.
Chung wins his 7th match in a row, finishing it off with 3 consecutive breaks and run. The 28-year-old from Taiwan is into the semi-final round of the U.S. Open.